If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
On this day, in the year 2000, 21 years ago today, the Patriots sent in the 199th overall selection to Radio City Music Hall. Phoned it in. We want Tom Brady, quarterback, University of Michigan. That was 21 years ago today.
Wow.
And Brady tweeted out, "Big day, my NFL career can legally buy a beer." 21 years ago.
I now pay my penance, do my rosary beads by giving Tom Brady fans this, okay? I said a couple years ago that Tom Brady and Jerry Rice were the only two NFL players ever that if you bisected their career, if you cut it dead in the middle, they were a first ballot Hall of Famer on either career. That they had two separate Hall of Fame careers, the first half and the second half. After last night, I have to amend that take. Tom Brady becomes the first football player ever, and this one I'm confident he will be the only football player ever. He has had three distinct Hall of Fame careers, and I can prove it to you. He's played 21 years, cut his career into 7-year bites. First 7, middle 7, next 7. No funny math, don't have to do any twists and turns. Let's just look at it. So that first 7, let's call that the Aikman phase, where the numbers aren't overwhelming, but is the best clutch quarterback in the league, is not a game manager in a negative way, but the best version of a game manager. Tom Brady's for 7 years, almost the same amount of division titles, same number of Super Bowls, one more Super Bowl MVP, neither won a regular season MVP. So Tom Brady's first 7 years, first third of his career, that's the Troy Aikman phase. That, in and of itself, by itself, gets you into the Hall of Fame. Now give me the next 7 years. This is the Dan Marino phase. Division titles about the same. Super Bowl appearances, Brady has more. Regular season MVPs, Brady has more. Passing touchdown leader, Marino by 1. Also, in this 7-year stretch, Brady had the 07 season, where not only are you undefeated and go 6-0 in the regular season, quarterback statistically speaking, it was up to that point in time the single greatest quarterbacking season ever. Whose record did he break? Marino's. The touchdown record, all the records he broke that year was Marino's. So those middle 7 years, where he went to 2 Super Bowls but didn't win any, he accomplished in those 7 years, as far as the big shiny object accomplishments, what Marino did in his entire career. And now the truly unfathomable part, the final third of his career, the Joe Montana phase. From 2014 to now, 4 rings to 4 rings, 3 Super Bowl MVPs to 3 Super Bowl MVPs. Brady has 1 regular season MVP in this stretch. Montana had 2. Montana also went to another team, just like Brady did. Montana took that team, the Chiefs, to the AFC title game. Brady took his team to the damn Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. Brady also, if we were to add another line, Super Bowl titles is 4 apiece to 4 apiece, but Super Bowl appearances would be 5 to 4, because in these 7 years, Brady went to another Super Bowl, the one against the Eagles, where he threw 505 yards and lost the game. So think about that for a moment.
So 21 years ago today is when everything changed. And by everything, I don't just mean the New England Patriots organization, but the birthday boy who on that day turned 48 years old. A 48-year-old head coach of the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. No idea what they were getting. None.
No, 0.
None. 0. The one person who knew was the kid who was walking around the block. Had to leave the house because his name wasn't mentioned yet. You know? consoled by his parents, consoling his parents as well. As we heard in the Brady 6 documentary, where you see a guy who's already had won 3 championships at the time of that documentary. Had already, if I'm not mistaken, married his supermodel wife, starting a family. Had already won.
Was already a Hall of Famer.
I mean, already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
3 rings, 1 shy of his idol in Joe Montana. In the conversation with Joe Montana. Had already won. Getting teary-eyed about the disappointment of he and his parents of not hearing his name called 21 years ago today until 199th overall. And that chip on his shoulder leads to the 44-year-old man that we will see this fall. He turns, I know when he turns 44. He shares the same birthday as my wife.
He does.
And leads to that man still wanting to play football.
Tom Brady, first 7, middle 7, next 7. And if you saw me swallow hard, it's because I'm choking down the bile that I'm feeling just by having to say this. First 7, middle 7, next 7. Hall of Fame first ballot, Hall of Fame first ballot, Hall of Fame first ballot. The first 7 years, the Aikman phase. The middle 7 years, the Marino phase. The next 7 years, the Montana phase. That, my friends, we will never see again. It is not realistic, no matter how long the time horizon goes, that we will see another player in the first 7 years of his career win at the level Brady did. Now, Mahomes might, but it's all of that follows. Win at the level Brady did in the first 7. In the next 7, continue statistical and team excellence. Got to a couple Super Bowls, won a couple MVPs. They had a bye almost every single year. They were in the conference championship game 2 out of every 3 years. And then in the next 7, which means you got to play 21 years to even be in this conversation, you somehow do more winning in the final 7 than you did in your first 14 combined. And your first 14 combined, already we were talking about you as one of the 3 greatest quarterbacks ever. And you do it in a new system with a new team. That will never be done again. What Jerry Rice did, being able to have 20 years of sustained excellence where you could say he had 2 separate Hall of Fame careers, was unprecedented. Brady matched that. But for Brady to now have upped the ante to 3 separate Hall of Fame careers, and you could do a blind stat test of Troy Aikman's career against Tom's first 7 years, Dan Marino's career against Tom's middle 7 years, and Joe Montana's career against Tom's last 7 years, it is not to be believed. And that is what everyone must acknowledge. Everyone already acknowledges he's the greatest quarterback ever. I've acknowledged that for a long time. I just foolishly thought he was done. When he threw the pick 6 against Tennessee, I took my victory lap. See, I told you so. And then he shoved that victory lap, well, you know where. So there it is, Tom Brady. I doff my proverbial cap to you. Some would say I doff my proverbial clown suit that I'm wearing to you. You got it done again. And you got it done under circumstances that I did not think were possible.
I think Tom wants to play in 10 Super Bowls. I think he wants, I think he wants to play in 12 Super Bowls. He wants to win 10 if he can. That would be 3 more. But I think he wants to play in 12. That's TB12. His system is called TB12. I think he wants to play in 12. 2 more. And then if he gets to 9, I'll think, do I get to 10? And you could sit here and say that's never going to happen because of how old he is. And I would look at you and say, what is your malfunction? How could you say anything about this guy to never? And he's changed the NFL. He's changed the NFL. When he was drafted 21 years ago today, the standard was 4 Super Bowl wins. That was the standard. See if you can match Bradshaw and Montana. Anybody coming out of college, let's see if you can match Bradshaw
Go for it.
and Montana. Go for it. If you get to half of that, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
You're considered for Hall of Fame worthiness if you get to half of what Montana and Bradshaw. It's entirely possible that by this point next year, what was once considered half of Bradshaw and Montana worthy of getting to the Super Bowl, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, is just 25% of Brady. Just a quarter of it. What used to be half is now a quarter because of what he's done and how long he's doing it and how well he's doing it for how long he's doing it and how he's now switched teams at this age. He's a walking first. Everything he does is a first. Everything he does. When he starts a game this year, it's a first. The fact that he won last year was a first. Everything he's done is a first. He's going to pass Breeze and for the all-time passing yards as well. He will retire the all-time passing yards leader. And that should sit there for a very long time. Very long.
What I think makes Tom Brady great is his mental ability to kind of slow time down and to make decisions so fast.
He's driven by football. I wasn't.
Right.
He's consumed with playing and his legacy, I'm sure. He's poised. He's fearless. He's driven. He's everything you want in a quarterback, minus the fact that he can't move a lick, and he's not a strong guy. He's kind of a soft guy, but boys, he's really good.
Tom Brady's greatest legacy will be certainly the duration of greatness that he's displayed in his career. I mean, it's insane.
You see Tom Brady trying to win his 5th Super Bowl, first quarterback to ever win 5. It's pretty incredible.
And Tom Brady's legacy is one word: champion.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day. Thanks for watching.